Hey, welcome to TVC Live.
Hi.
We are so glad you are here. First question.
We're glad we're here.
Oh, yeah, we're glad we're here. We are coming to you live from Du Bois, Wyoming.
Or Du Bois. We're not sure.
Or Du Bois if you're French. But they don't like you to call it Du Bois here. But we are coming to you live from the KOA laundry facility. Yeah.
We had to ask somebody not to do their drying.
We literally had to stop someone from starting their dryer. What depths have we gotten to where we are asking people to stop doing their laundry?
You know, whatever we need to do for the virtual campground community.
That's exactly right.
We
are committed.
Exactly. And luckily, the very kind people here at KOA let us come into the laundry room.
That's right.
The reason was just because of the Wi-Fi. We weren't quite sure. We didn't want to have any issues. Because of today's guests, we didn't want to have to, restart or stop them or anything.
Yeah, normal
once
guests.
Eric gets going, you want him to go.
Normal guests, we're okay with all that. But these guests...
not any guests, but especially Eric and Tami.
We do want to give a shout out to the KOA here. They've been very courteous and kind. We are at the Wind River KOA in Du Bois.
Just outside
Wyoming.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, about an hour and a half or so drive. But the cool thing about the drive from here into the park is that it is one of the National Geographic's most scenic drives in the country.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So
we haven't done it yet, but we're excited.
But we hear it's great.
But the drive here was very scenic and beautiful
the drive
too.
Here was great.
Wyoming. So this is my first time in Wyoming. Yours too, right?
Yep.
And I'm already in awe of it. It's an amazingly beautiful and really diverse as far as terrain goes.
We've
seen huge mountains with snow and some desert and some red rocks, and it's just been beautiful.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That's right, Teresa. The clothes are clean. They're just not dry.
So has anyone said they're hearing us? Or are we just talking to ourselves? Or are we good?
Well, they heard that the clothes were clean,
so
they must be hearing us.
Well,
right?
it could be lip reading. I don't know.
Maybe. Yes, I know, Teresa. We are dedicated.
That's right.
Dedicated.
That's right.
No sound. Oh no, Joanne is there. Oh, she got it. Never mind.
Okay. Phew. All right, we can't have number 1,000 not hearing us.
No.
Okay, so
I don't know what that was.
Like a bird hit the window. Okay, so I hope that bird's okay. But we have a show to do, so we're going to get on with that. So we have Eric and Tami from TechnoRV on, and they are an amazing couple. And they, even though they're Alabama fans, we're going to overlook that. And
notice his shirt today.
And but they're a really cool couple, and we're excited to be talking to them. And we're going to be talking now that we've done the home renovation stuff,
right?
And so now you're ready to hit the road.
We got you organized last week.
That's right, got you organized.
Right.
So what kind of technology do you need in order to hit the road successfully?
Live and work on the road.
We'll talk a little bit about technology, but mostly we're just here to catch up with Tami and Eric, and you guys get to watch.
They just happen to have a cool company that you can get items from, but really it's mostly that we just wanted to talk to Tami and Eric.
So before we do that, though, we have a couple things.
Yes.
We wanted to show some pictures.
Yes, we had these. Okay, so remember last week, if y'all were on, we talked about that actually today is National RV Day, and we talked about what do you think the first RVs look like, and Jen Kemper found these adorable, maybe true pictures of the first RVs to come out off the line. So here you go with the GMC. Looks more like a pretty fancy van, but the other one there up in the corner.
It's like a Model T or something.
Looks like somebody just decided I'm going to build my own house on top of my car. Which we've seen those before.
We have seen those,
People have done. I've seen that now in 2000, whatever this is, 2020. So there you go. It is possible.
All right, so thanks, Jen, for doing that. Someone's saying buffering.
Joanne's buffering. Hopefully the rest of you are not.
Yeah, how are we doing otherwise? Brian says we can hear you, but I think we're doing okay here.
Yep.
All right. Let's
So,
forge on.
Yes.
Okay, well, anything else to cover before we bring Tami and Eric on?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. I would like you to give a warm welcome to Tami and Eric from TechnoRV.
Yay! Hi!
Yay!
How y'all doing? This is
Doing great. Thanks for good. The crowd loves you.
Turn it off.
I don't know how to turn it off.
Steals some of my best deals have been completed in laundry rooms. So.
I don't know that I want to hear the rest of that story.
I kind of do too.
It's so great to
Hey,
see
listen,
you.
I didn't know if it was all right, and I don't want to get off schedule here, but do y'all mind if I do a little trick to start things off with?
No, we'd love a little trick.
Is that all right? So somebody sent in a question before for the show and said, "Hey, we heard that y'all would be on the show," and so I haven't opened the question, but I've got this ability to give an answer.
Are you the great
to the
Kuzak?
question,
Krazak? What was it?
before I open it. So,
This is amazing.
It is.
and the answer is 2011.
2011.
2011. What was 2011?
Okay. This is exciting.
The question is, before 2019, when was the last time LSU beat Alabama?
We're having some technical difficulties. I am so sorry. We're going to have to bring you back some other time.
Wait a minute, though. Don't go too.
Liability. That's why I married him.
That's right.
That's it right here, man.
That's right.
This is
That's
it.
right. Now let's not get too far into the LSU Alabama, because we do have a special surprise at the end of our conversation, and we are going to see which one of you do know your Alabama LSU rivalry
This will be
football
a piece of
better.
cake. You notice who's wearing the gear, so I mean it's a
Yes.
piece of cake.
He was being kind.
He just
Yes.
told you everything he knows. Don't worry, Barry.
That's the extent of my trivia.
Yes, Johnny Carson, the great Karnak. How many of y'all in the chat remember that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
There's probably a few that don't, but including my son who's watching. So, all right.
Yeah, so thanks for joining us. It's so great to see you guys. Now, you're still in South Alabama somewhere, hunkered down at your home base, right?
Yeah, we call it Mobile, but it's actually just west of Mobile and but we always say Mobile because people know Mobile.
Yeah.
But we've been here since early February or so.
Yeah, we're actually, we had a storm come through, and so we were going to do this in our RV, but we were just worried about the sound, so we're actually inside the world headquarters of TechnoRV.
But yeah, it's been fun to be here. Weird to stay put this long. We've never been stationary this long, but at the same time, getting a lot done. So it's ended up being a positive thing.
We start every year at the Tampa RV show, and then after that, we got the opportunity to go down to Key West for a month. We've never been there, so we were super excited about that. And then kind of everything, yeah, got kind of crazy. We had the shows we were going to go to, but it just didn't happen. So we've been here since the end of February.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a long time, because y'all have been on the road about 6 years now, right?
2014, we sold our house. We didn't travel tons the first year, but yeah, it's been since 2014 we've been in the RV.
And have y'all mostly traveled after that first year? Have you been mostly on the road?
Yeah, we pretty much do the Tampa show in January, and we generally don't come back until usually October-ish after the Hershey show in September. We have flown back before for little events here and there, but we generally don't bring the RV back until the holidays, and then we stay usually October through December, or here and there, little trips in between there. But yeah, we're pretty much gone 9 months here.
We stay on the move, like literally since we started full timing. Like we really don't stay anywhere more than like 2 weeks. I mean, we're moving.
Okay.
For us to be a month long, like in Key West, and I think we've been a month in Indiana one year because we had a lot of shows that month. But we don't stay in one place generally. We move a lot.
So this has been a pretty
little
drastic
weird.
change for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has been pretty drastic change for you then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to show some pictures.
We had some. We usually do about 5 or 6 RV shows a year, and they started canceling, so that kind of changed our year. Because a lot of times we'll kind of dictate where we're going to travel based on that, and really we kind of start off with like, hey, where do we want to go personally that year? And then, because there's RV shows everywhere, and then we can kind of pick up RV shows in different areas of the country.
And does that usually dictate your travel schedule?
The two that are kind of always the same place, same time of year, Tampa in January and Hershey in September, those are pretty solid, set in stone. Escapees and FMCA and some of the other ones we do kind of change from year to year. But yes, the ones that we go to every year, we pretty much, that's blacked out in the calendar, and we just know that that's where we're going to be at that time of year, which for us, it works well. It's great being up there near Pennsylvania and Michigan and all those areas in, throughout the summer, and then end up in Pennsylvania, and then we come back down. So it's never limited us in what we wanted to do, but it does drive our schedule. Yeah.
But hey, we did hit our 50th state last year.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, 50 states. And in between rallies, we did do that.
Yeah, in between all that, we got to all 50 states. So
Which was the 50th? What was the last one?
Alaska.
Okay.
His 50th birthday last summer was Alaska.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. I remember you coming back from Alaska. You were hot-footing it across the country to get to Pennsylvania, I think, for a show.
Yes, we came out in Washington, and I am a huge Dave Matthews fan, and I've always wanted to see him at the Gorge, and he does that Labor Day weekend. So we came out, did the Labor Day weekend, and RV'd and camped and had a blast, but we had to be back at Hershey. So I think it was 4 days.
We did 4 days.
It was
4.5 days, and I think it was 2,500 miles.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
After a weekend of Dave Matthews.
Yeah, so you know about how we felt doing that. But it was I did a couple of 700-mile days.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's not good. And
how were you standing during Hershey?
Yeah.
It was not good.
It was totally worth it though.
We did I-90.
But I don't drive, so.
I-90 runs all the way across that top part of the United States, and so we did that, and it was all good until we hit like the Chicago area, and I really should have dropped down, but I didn't, and it was horrible. Once you get there, you got all those toll booths. I think we probably spent, it was probably, I don't know, $300-400 in tolls just to kind of get through that little section into Indiana and all that. It was pretty hectic.
But to your point, Deborah, Hershey's a long show, like 9 to 8, and last year we actually had 2 people that came and helped us, so it wasn't as bad as some years have been. We got to only do like 8-hour days instead of 10-hour days. So.
You could take a nap.
Yes.
I'm not sure we even told people what we do.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, we just assumed everybody knows you.
Yeah.
We just do this. And then somebody's probably like, what are they driving? What are their shows?
You sit in a warehouse and do talk shows. I mean, that's kind of your thing.
Barry and Deborah knows, so that's
yeah. We're terrible hosts.
Yeah, we're kind of new at this.
That trick got you. The trick got you off.
Okay, so that's a great point,
Eric. Great segue, Eric.
So I was going to ask, because you've been on the road for 6 years, and you've had the company that whole time, right? Is that what you got that right before?
We actually sold the house and became RVers first, and then after about a year, we realized that we were needing a way to fund it, at long term, because we knew we were going to love it, and that's when we came across TechnoRV. So we've had it since 2015.
And tell everybody what TechnoRV is.
So it's TechnoRV.com, and we sell technology products for RVers. So it's pretty simple.
That is
pretty simple.
Yeah. It's a website, and it's kind of a e-tail store, and but we really, like, from the beginning, we decided we would only sell products that we use ourselves as full-time RVers, and that we would kind of make our whole business all about customer service
and
education, which isn't really the easiest way to run a business. It's much easier to not do customer service.
Yes.
And that's not what we decided to do. We were like, nope, we're going to do that right, and then we're just going to trust the process from there, and so that's what we've done.
Yeah, and we bought a few things from you, and I can vouch for the customer service because I'm not the most technically gifted RVer out there, and I remember I ordered one of the suction cups from you, and you think suction cups? How difficult could that be, really? All right, it's a suction cup, for crying out loud. But no, I had to email customer support and and you told me what I was what I was doing wrong and
on the suction cup just in case.
Yeah. Well, you know, I bought a second suction cup. I'm not usually a suspenders and a belt kind of guy, but I wanted a backup for that suction cup, so I have two of them now. Should get
Well, I
you
know
to
where
sign
you can
one.
get a third one.
All right, so we are getting lots of comments in the chat and lots of people saying hi and that they've stopped by your booth in Hershey and different places. One person asked, Herbert asked, Tampa and Hershey both advertise as the largest RV show in the U.S. Which do you think is larger?
So
Attendance-wise, I believe Hershey beats numbers. I believe. But they're very different in that Hershey, you don't have RVs on site of people staying on site. You have to drive into the Giant Center. So it's just people coming in for the day, whereas Tampa has activities and the fairgrounds and people are staying there. So Tampa feels bigger to me.
It's just busier because they usually have about 2,000 RVs of people staying in their RVs on site, and then of course they have like demo RVs. Both shows have that, but again, like to Tammy's point, the Hershey RV show, there's nobody staying on site, so it just has a different feel to it. As somebody setting up a booth, they're both wild. I'm not kidding. It is from the second we walk in there to the time we leave. It's 4 or 5 people deep in the booth, and you just never get a break.
Oh my gosh.
But I would say, for us, the Tampa show has done bigger numbers for us, just as far as what we sell. But I don't know that that's the same for every vendor. It may just be us.
Yeah, I think it's very comparable. Somewhere between 60 and 70,000 people is generally the number range that they say.
It's a lot of people.
Tampa sounds like it could be a lot of fun though with the night activities and stuff and people staying there.
It is. It feels more rally show as opposed to just going to a show.
But Hershey's got the Hershey area is cool. And there's it's got our one of our favorite breweries is in Hershey, and one of our favorite dive places to go get chicken wings in Hershey.
Well, that we have to that is a way to judge this place. That's how good the food is for sure.
Absolutely.
And let's see. Johnny wants to know: does Tampa have test drives?
I don't know. When we pull out,
Tampa does have
yes,
test drives.
there is that parking. Yes,
Tampa does have test drives. Yeah. Hey, if you're willing to buy an RV, they'll let you do whatever you want to with it.
There you go. Charlie Grace's suggestion: we all meet up in Tampa.
Yeah, there you go.
Sounds like a party.
We'll be there in January again.
It's a good time.
And the Hershey show, as far as we know, is still a go.
Yeah, they emailed the other day and said they'll make the final decision at the end of the month, and they do have to get some special ruling to have certain numbers of people. But as of right now, they say it's still on. So
and
our
when is it?
tentative plans is Hershey in September.
Yeah,
September.
We'll be there as far as we know.
All right. So TechnoRV, great company, good customer service, lots of awesome products. What do you think since we've been talking about renovations and people are redoing their RVs and plus all the people we have that are newbies, what are top 3 things you think people could use if they're starting to live in their RV?
So we get asked this a lot, and you'll be glad to know our answer is always the same.
All right.
Number 3 varies sometimes, but number 1 and 2 are always
the same. So number 1 is you don't want to plug in to an electrical pedestal without some kind of electrical protection system. For those that have been RVing for a while, they know this. For newbies, they may not know it. But it's crucial because, unlike, at like a regular home where you've got, stable power for the most part, the electrical grid is designed for the number of houses that are in the area. RV parks are much different. A lot of times the RV parks may not have appropriated things correctly. A lot of times the maintenance programs in these RV parks can vary from park to park. Some of them are good, maybe some of them aren't so good. And so you can start having wiring issues on pedestals. And so, for example, not to get into it too deep, but for example, you know, on a 50 amp RV, you've got two hot lines, you've got a ground and a neutral. If you lose that neutral line, then those two hot lines can come together and create what's called 240 volts, which means instead of getting 120 volts, which is what we should be getting in our RVs, you could get, like, say, 200 volts to one side of your RV, 40 volts to another side of your RV, which could be like instant things are starting to fry in your RV. So a good total electrical protection system will protect you against surges.
Definitely number one.
Wiring issues, it'll detect these type things. And then it'll also protect you against just regular high and low voltage. People turn their AC units on, voltage starts to drop down. Low voltage is bad for your electronic components in your RV. And so that's the number one thing. You got to get it if you're an RVer, and would be a surge protection. And number two would be what, Tammy?
Tire pressure monitoring system.
Awesome.
Although you can't check them, although you can check your tires before you leave, you know, and when you pull over, things can happen while you're driving. You can get low pressure, high heat. These are both indicators that you could be experiencing some tire failure. So a tire pressure monitoring system allows you to just keep an eye on that while you're driving and give you enough time to get off the road before something happens. So that's number two. Number three, we kind of vary on this one. One of the things that we sell at TechnoRV, which I don't consider it major technology, but it to us is a must-have as an RVer, is a Berkey water filter, because that was one of our first things we bought before we even had TechnoRV, because I just kept having to buy all that bottled water, and it was just constantly keeping big jugs of bottled water and this and that. And someone we knew were like, hey, why don't you try Berkey? And we did. And then we realized that when you are experiencing water in all kind of different places, that it's nice to just have that as a common, you know.
Yeah, where you know, like, no matter where you go, you know your water always tastes the same. It always feels like home because it's the same type thing as opposed to just you get what you get. Yeah. And you know, the Berkey is it's a gravity filled type thing. Like you could put pond water in it and it would filter it out if you wanted to.
Let's not.
So
no, I know. I'm like, I will kill you. If you put Berkey, I swear.
Hey, I've done it before. But you know, with the pandemic and everything, you know, everybody's running around planting gardens and you know, making sure that they're you know, ready for whatever, and so Berkeys have been super popular. We've actually been back ordered on Berkeys.
They're pretty much gone. Yeah, Berkey's even doesn't really have it, but they're awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah. So, sorry, somebody came in and distracted. So, what? That has made me completely lose track of my.
Well, we do have a couple questions.
Yeah, and we've had people have questions. So, one of the questions is about: do you recommend a surge protector at the pedestal and an EMS in the rig?
So, an EMS is means electrical management system, and that's what, when I say like total electrical protection system, that's a unit that does more than just surge protection. So it'll make sure that you've got good wiring, high low voltage, and also protect you against surge. EMS is more of a marketing term that some companies use, but it really just means total electrical protection system more than just surge. So whether or not you put it on the pedestal or hardwire it in your RV is really a personal preference. I like the portable units on the pedestal. They're easy. If you're going to put a hardwired system in there, then you're either going to have to install that yourself or have a professional install it. There's, you know, to me, there's really no need in having one in both places. I guess you could, but there's really no need in it.
I think the biggest misconception is that a surge protector, when we say an RV surge protector, that it's only doing surge. The units that are like $100, those are generally surge only, and then the units that are 300 to 400, depending if you're 50 amp or all, that's EMS, total electrical protection. They call it all kinds of things, but it's really more about that you have the one that does everything as opposed to where you place it. As long as you have one that does high, low voltage and all that, it's really preference.
Yeah, it really is just preference. And again, I like the portable, and I would say probably about 95% of, because we sell both of them, 95% of our sales are portable because they're just easier.
You can take them with you if you sell your RV or you transition. It's not something you have to leave behind. There's a lot of reasons people choose the portable ones. So.
And then Eric, do you have a different third choice than Tami does?
Oh boy, you know what? I do have a different third choice. Thank you for asking and considering me in that way.
You're welcome.
So when I started RVing, one of the things that sort of terrified me was the fact that my RV was 13 feet tall. At the time, it was a fifth wheel. Now we're in a Class A, but it was heavy, it was big, and I was terrified to follow my phone's GPS, come around a corner east, and there'd be a 10-foot overpass.
Yes.
So my third choice is a RV-specific GPS, and basically this means that you can enter your height, your weight, how many propane tanks you have, and then it kind of knows whenever you put in an address, it's going to route you in a way that it's not going to route you under a low overpass.
Yeah, that's really
and so for me as the driver, I was like, I got to have that because I can't, like, I've seen these situations where people have posted online like it happened to them, and that just seems like a disaster to me. Yeah. So
yes,
you can
those
eliminate
pictures
that
scare
with
me
RV
to death.
GPS. Yep, and we use the Garmin.
Yep.
Yeah, we use the Garmin RV GPS system.
Awesome.
Yeah, Garmin is great. Yeah.
And so, okay, so we're going to go back for a minute to your second choice, which is the tire pressure, because we have a lot of people asking different questions in the chat, but I also wanted to go ahead and give a hint that you guys have agreed to give our folks a giveaway.
Yes, we are giving away a TST 507 cap sensor TPMS color monitor. You get 4 sensors, a repeater, everything you need to, and we're doing the cap because the cap can go on metal valve stems or rubber valve stems, so that's kind of the universal sensor that fits no matter what you have. The caps are good. And we're giving one of those away for virtual campground people.
So real quick,
awesome.
And a tire pressure monitoring system, you've got a sensor that screws onto your valve stem. That broadcasts forward to a monitor that sits with you, your pressure and your temperature. Usually blowouts are preceded by high temperature, low pressure. So in most cases, these situations are happening before a blowout happens. So if you can be alarmed to that, it gives you time to get off the road, tells you which tire's in alarm, and you can kind of deal with it before the blowout happens.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is one of the products that I bought from you, that we bought from you about 1.5 years ago. And then about a year later, I realized you weren't coming to install it. And so I had to get out by myself and install the thing, and darn it if it wasn't really easy. So so we've got that now up and running, and it really does give me a peace of mind that I have a better idea of what's going on with those tires.
Yep. So the way that's going to work is we're going to put it in the show notes, and we'll put the link, and folks can go on there and sign up to be in the drawing. We're going to leave it open for a couple weeks, 3 weeks, and then we'll pick a winner and announce it on a show coming up. And then that person will get a free tire pressure monitor system. Very fun.
Yeah, thank you
y'all.
so much
that
for
was
doing
really sweet
that.
of y'all.
That's really nice.
Really nice.
Yeah, that's great. We'll ship it out as soon as we draw a winner. That'll be great.
That's great.
And Barry, I don't know if you checked your email, but when you get something from us, we do email video directions usually to help with that kind of thing.
And you probably did. It's probably in there.
I'm sure you did.
Gladly
I'm
help
sure
you
you
get it
did.
set up.
Our he's got our emails going straight to trash.
Oh no, it's
So you start emailing me. Yes,
No,
absolutely.
yeah, thank you so much for that. That is a fun giveaway. We're excited about that. And just full disclosure, we're going to put the link in the show notes. And we do have an affiliate relationship with TechnoRV. And all that means is that if you do purchase something from TechnoRV, then we're going to get a little commission at no extra cost for you. But they do have amazing products, and we can highly recommend them.
Because we use them too.
We do too.
Plus, you have these nice people backing them all up, and they do absolutely back them up. So
The suction cups are a little tricky, but
yeah, exactly. So, okay, I want to go back to also here you are at your home base. And there's been a lot of chatter lately among a lot of the RVers, I think, with what's going on in the world with the COVID and et cetera, that people are really questioning, like, should I have a home base? And what could that look like? And should we buy? And I know this one's constantly like, maybe we should buy some land just to have a place, to go.
Eric did it. Why can't we?
Eric did it. Thanks, Eric. So we just wanted to show folks that y'all really do have you're at your offices for TechnoRV, but right behind it you have a pad. And so that is a picture of it being built, it looks like.
You probably can't see this yet, Eric and Tammy, but we're showing a picture of the pad before, just as after the concrete's poured.
Oh, I remember that time very well.
And then
we had just gotten our the yard at the office area looking really pretty, and it had been like a year or so, not even quite a year since we'd moved in it. And then it was like, hey, we need to lay this concrete for this pad. And then I come up here one day and the entire yard is just, I was like, oh my gosh. It ended up wonderful, but those few months.
And this is right behind your office where you're sitting now.
It is. We are in a residential area, so we actually converted a house to an office, and it sits on an acre, so there's land behind it where the house is situated. And so we just put a concrete pad back there, and we have full hookups and water and sewer and power and everything like that. And it was just coincidental that it was finished. Like we got it finished last December, and then we didn't even move on it because we were like, we're going to Tampa, we'll just wait. And then we come back in late February, and then the COVID situation happened, and it just was a total blessing that it was the first time we'd ever stayed on it. We talked about it, like, what would we have done? Now, we do have property our family has that have they have hookups. It's not like an RV pad or anything, but just some crude hookups for us. But if we didn't have a permanent or a place that we could call home, it's been a wonderful blessing to have it during this time. And I'm glad going forward. I mean, even though we're not here on a regular year, we will not be here a lot. But it is nice to sometimes just say, this is it, I'm home. Regardless of what happens, I do have that place that I can go. And the other thing is, for us, we get a lot of work done when we're here because we're in a city we're familiar with. There's not that desire to feel like if I'm not out and about every day, I'm going to miss out from the city, which is how you sometimes feel when you're. So that part of it lets our brain kind of just stop worrying about where we are and what's around us and just focus on some things we need to get done. So I like that part of it too.
Yeah.
So y'all put in the cement, and then did you have to run the electrical and the sewer and everything as well?
You know more about that. I would be making stuff up if I answered that question. So I'll let you do it.
Yeah, we definitely, we just teed off the office here and ran line all to Alabama code. And totally inspected and professionally installed, I might add.
Just in case anyone is listening.
It is. I am right.
Yeah, we have like a cool pedestal in the back with 30 and 50.
It's legit.
Like the whole thing.
It's legit. You pull in and I bought like a legit like RV park pedestal, and it's got a 50 and 30 amp hookup, and it's kind of odd because I always get about 122 volts coming in and per line, and when you're at an RV park, a lot of times that can fluctuate and things. And here it's we've been here a couple of months, and I'm always checking, and it's like, man, this thing never moves. It's like we always have good voltage here, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, that is.
But yeah,
nice.
we did that. We ran the sewer line, the electrical, and all the water, and all good.
I seem to recall that you had the that before you had the pad built, you were parking the RV back there in the grass, and you had some difficulty with that at one point.
It was more getting out of the grass.
Yeah.
Getting in, no problem.
Yeah, getting in, no problem.
Now this was actually, this was 2 years ago. We were leaving the property, and we were going to the Tampa show. And we were leaving for the Tampa show, and we were running a little bit behind. And it had rained a couple of days, and there was probably about, I would say, 300-400 yards that I needed to get across. And let me tell you something. Once a Class A RV starts breaking traction, it's over with. Like, you're not moving. So we had to get a bulldozer to come pull us out.
That was the last time we crossed that field.
We never crossed it again. It was a lot of fun, though.
It was interesting.
Fun and interesting, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was a bulldozer involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well, then there was power tools. That's why you think it's fun, yes.
Now, as fellow...
I actually, before we got the bulldozer,
Oh gosh, you did.
I literally, for a second, thought, I've got this Jeep that I put the big tires on and made it all tough looking, and I literally was like, well, I'm just gonna hook my Jeep up to it and turn
Heck
this thing out. I tell you
Use
what,
that winch.
it didn't move an inch.
Well, I have a little bit of a concern as fellow full-time RVers. Now you've got this beautiful cush pad back there
Looks
with
pretty.
consistent electricity, and we're
Very
showing the
nice.
nighttime photo of it now, and you've got the fire pit going and the lights and all that. It just looks lovely. And then you went and bought a boat. I don't think you're ever leaving that part of the world now.
Well, the problem is, I told Tammy, I'm like, Tammy, you've been shopping on Amazon a lot lately.
COVID brought the shopper out in me.
Oh, yeah.
I was so.
It was like, it would be just
It's-
like ordering bubbly. Like, can't we just go to the store for this kind of stuff?
As
Do it on Amazon.
an RVer, to have an address to ship to.
Right.
Right.
It's a little thing like that
Yes.
was just so much.
It's a luxury.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
here, and it's gonna come here. Oh my gosh.
So in an effort to kind of teach her a lesson, I want. But you listen, we're from the Gulf Coast. We love fishing. One thing that we've always talked about is in all of our travels. It's like, hey, if there's one thing that we miss just about being back home, it is the fishing,
water,
because just being around the water, and sometimes you get landlocked and different things out traveling, and it's great. But when we used to have a regular house back here, we did have a boat, and it's something that we always loved, and it wasn't a boat that just sat there. We literally used it. And so yeah, absolutely, we were like, you know what, we're here, we're probably going to be here for a lot of the year, and so we wanted a boat, you know what I mean? So we did get one, and we're going to start doing some
You
fishing.
can't be in Mobile during the summer
Oh,
No,
unless
yeah,
you
you need to
are
get out on
in
the
and
water,
out of the
right.
water. It's
Yes.
almost intolerable any other way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, it was
I
like our ark, we bought it. It's been raining for like 4 straight days.
There you go.
That's right.
Well,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? Just in case.
We literally haven't even put it in the water yet.
Well, it's
Time is
Just
this
sit there.
weekend.
that's
This
right.
weekend.
I saw that it had a
it's
lot of
gonna
water
happen.
on it.
So I'm
But
curious.
that is not a sign that we are slowing down.
Okay,
That is just
all right,
a sign
all right, just checking.
that we got a wild hair.
Well, he was teaching you a
You're
lesson.
allowed. You're allowed. You're allowed. So let me ask you, because I'm curious, because as y'all know, and everybody on the chat knows, we've recently taken over the virtual campground, and so we're still learning kind of the balance. How do y'all balance the getting out and doing fun things and the business? Because I'm sure TechnoRV takes up a lot of time, and because y'all are so good with customer service, I know that it takes up time. So how is it that y'all do that balance?
Some of the things we've done in the past is, like when we went to Alaska, it's going to sound so simple. We just scheduled it and said, we're doing it. We want to, and we remind ourselves why we do this. And we do this so we can have freedom to travel. And we don't want to ever lose sight of that. So we plan things. And yeah, sometimes they're stressful. And, maybe we'll be out on this boat and be like, oh, it's busy at the office. And we may have to slack or check in. But we just make ourselves set time, and we realize that could we be building the business and doing great work if we stayed home that day? Yes. but that defeats the whole purpose of having it. So,
So we do have employees.
Yes, that helps too.
And so that does help. But the truth of the matter is, depending on when you might ask us that question, like over the last 5 years, we might be able to give you a better answer at different points throughout that journey, because there are times that we're not good at it. There are times that it's like, man, do we never leave this RV? And those are the times where we kind of have to, stop, have a conversation between ourselves and say, you know what, we've got to get out. We've got to go do things. We've got to enjoy the area that we're in. So sometimes it is forced, but that's okay. You know what I mean? Because we're still doing what we love. And first and foremost, we're full-time RVers. You know what I mean? That's what we got into all this, to be full-time RVers. And so we do take our opportunities to go see the great country.
That's
awesome.
good. Yeah,
awesome.
that's
Okay,
good.
well, I know one of your passions is Alabama football. So I made a game because Barry doesn't know the answers to these
She
questions.
wouldn't let me
I wouldn't let
see
him look
the
at it.
questions.
So while we're playing this, everybody on the chat can play along, though really I'm going to have the two of them playing each other, so they probably won't wait for y'all to chime in unless they don't know the answer. And so while we're playing the game, y'all in the chat, if you have a question for TechnoRV that you haven't asked yet, or for Tami and Eric, please go ahead and put it in the chat so we'll remember to ask it after the game. Does that sound fair?
Hey, Deborah, can I prepare my room for this?
Your room?
Can I prepare my room?
No, we don't have time for that, Eric. We got to
As
go.
long as it takes a really short time.
We've got clothes that need to be put in the dryer here.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my goodness.
Literally stays in
Oh,
our
my
warehouse
goodness
24/7 all the time.
Oh,
So you didn't have to look
Okay,
for it.
I'm ready now.
You're ready now. Okay, you're feeling it. You're ready for it. Okay.
Okay.
So the way this is going to work is we're going to put up a question and I'll read it, and then y'all have to you have a sound or something you have to make to buzz in.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
Okay.
All right. Oh.
Very good. I forgot
wow.
the bell because we aren't in
It's
the
an app.
room.
I just found an app.
How about,
So, okay, no, that's a little overboard. Okay, so actually, what sound does Mike make?
Mike the Tiger?
So if Barry wants to answer, he has to growl like a tiger.
Yes.
If Eric wants to answer,
Yes.
he has to make the elephant,
Yes.
whatever that
Sound. Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the way to do it. I think that's the way to do it. And that also reminds me of a question I meant to put in here and I forgot, which we'll have to do at the end, I guess.
I think this is getting out of hand.
All right. So y'all ready? Okay.
Let's do it.
The first question. What was the first year of this rivalry meeting on the football field? And bonus points if you know the score of the first
I
game.
know.
Growl, roar.
All right, go ahead, Eric. You're first.
It was 18.
No, wrong.
I want to say 1846.
Wrong.
You are full of me. Are you going to be this person?
Okay.
I got
that
to
was your
steal.
guess. Okay, now Barry can steal because that's wrong.
No, clearly it was 1925. The score was 67-0 LSU.
Both of you are wrong.
1963?
But I was first. So
And Eric, I will say you got it closer.
What?
Yeah, he got closer. It was first year of this rivalry was 1895. November of 1895.
Wow.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
there you go.
And LSU won 12-6.
It was close to 67-0.
So
Barry.
no points on that one to either team. All right.
But LSU won. Is that what you said?
I did say that LSU won.
I
Yeah, exactly said that. All right. The teams began playing each other on an annual basis in 1964. What were the names of their home stadiums?
Roar.
I know.
Okay, Barry said Roar.
Legion Field.
Okay, yep.
Oh, did you already go?
No.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Legion Field?
He gets to.
Oh, he does? Okay.
No. I think I was just going to guess. I have no clue. So looks like Eric won that one.
Yes.
Let's move on to the
No,
next
but
one.
what was LSU's home stadium called?
Death Valley. I have no idea.
Tiger Stadium has to be.
Oh, just Tiger Stadium?
Tiger Stadium.
Tiger Stadium and Legion Field.
Yep.
Wow.
And do you know what's the name of the? No, I'm sure you do. What's the name of the stadium now?
Death Valley is what I call it.
I call it Death Valley.
Oh, ours is Bryant Denny.
Yes, y'all's is Bryant Denny. That's right. Okay. All right. Let's see.
Yeah.
So 1 for Eric. Next game.
But LSU won the first game.
Yeah, the 2007 game. The 2007
quit living
game.
in the past, Mary.
The 2007 game had a special. Okay, you're gonna miss the question. The 2007 game had a special new reason for rivalry. So the media gave the game a new name. What was the name of the game according to the media? They gave it a nickname. And then who won that game? Yes, Eric.
That was the year that the greatest coach in the world, Nick Saban, for the Alabama Crimson Tide, went over to the dark side at LSU and won a national championship for them. And so I believe that they started calling that series the Saban Bowl.
Did they really?
Yes, except for a little bit. I'm gonna give you the point, but the 2007 game was the first time Nick played for Alabama and coached Alabama.
Yeah.
So up till then he had been at Death Valley, but then he came to Alabama and they called it the Saban game. Who won that first match with Saban as the coach of Alabama?
Well, LSU, clearly.
That's right. LSU.
Yeah,
LSU.
it was not good.
All right, and here, this next question, I have a burning, and I want to know the answer. Where the hell did they come up with Crimson Tide?
Oh, there is a story behind that, but I don't know it.
So here's the story.
Oh,
Y'all all right?
yeah.
Hang on a second. They told us the other day that these will go off. I just didn't know they go off now. They're just
so
the alarms to check the alarms.
No, but they go off for two reasons. One is to check, but also this is to call the volunteers into the fire station. So
okay.
when they hear this, they know to go to the fire station. So
Interesting.
I feel like I should stand up and salute or something.
That's right.
Hope it's not too loud.
The joys of live shows.
I thought the laundry room was soundproof.
It's not that bad,
It's
Laura.
not bad.
It's not bad. Okay. Well,
So
then we'll fight through it.
Do you know the story behind the Crimson Tide?
So the Crimson Tide, back when Bear Bryant was coaching and he was whipping the crap out of everybody, they would play these like they were really just bigger than everybody, like just this huge. And so there was this one opponent that they played, and I can't remember who it was, but they said when the Alabama took the field and wearing their crimson, that it looked like a crimson tide coming across the field towards them because they were all just so much bigger. And I don't know what year it was or whatever that all that happened,
Impressed you know that.
but that's the story that I know.
It was 1907. It was called the Iron Bowl. They were playing against Auburn. And so that is one story. There's apparently a couple of them, but that is definitely one of the stories. Yep, why they became the Crimson Tide.
All right, good job.
Barry, I don't know if you know this. Eric doesn't like to tell people this. I grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Oh.
And my second favorite team is LSU. It's not. I used to have an LSU baseball cap, and he's like, not happening.
Well, Tammy, I knew there was a reason I liked
Hey,
you.
Barry, I'll give you a better one than that one. I was actually born in New Orleans.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I think mine's better.
I wasn't there long.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, you people clearly went wrong at some point, but I'm glad to know your background.
Well, that just makes y'all even better people. All right. So the next question is, why are LSU colors purple and gold?
Because it looks really cool.
Ooh,
No?
I don't know that.
Oh, does it Mardi Gras? Have to do with Mardi Gras?
No way.
Oh my God,
I
really?
don't know.
It does.
Is it?
It has to do with Mardi Gras. And the only reason they wanted purple and gold ribbons, and they were all out of green. So then it just ended up being purple and gold.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Hey, I'm good.
Yeah, you are good. You're winning.
I'm a good guesser. I'm just guessing.
All right.
That is the thing of with purple and gold.
Which school player got the first? Which of the two teams got the Heisman Trophy awarded to one of their players first?
Roar.
And who got it? Okay, Barry, go ahead.
LSU Cannon.
You just said roar.
That's right.
I just got that.
That is correct. You got one. Yay! You got one. But Alabama, they've both gotten 2. So, just so you know.
Really? Okay.
Alabama got their first one in 2009. And LSU got their first one in 1959. So LSU was way ahead.
Way ahead.
Way ahead.
And we won that first game.
All right.
Ahead of the curve, but you still can't use a suction cup.
Excellent point. Excellent
You
point.
should put videos about suction cups on the website. For crying out loud.
Okay, how
I don't
many?
know that I know this, Barry, but where did your LSU? Were you born there? Grew up there? Where did that come from?
I grew up
there.
I grew up in a little resort town outside of Baton Rouge called Denham Springs, Louisiana.
I know Denham Springs.
Yeah. We used to have a spring, but it dried up.
His sister still lives there in the house he lived in growing up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Just a
You
couple.
probably told me that before at a campfire somewhere. You know?
Yeah, we were probably drinking.
Probably drinking. How many games of the last 10 have been decided in overtime?
How many of the games in the last 10 have been decided in overtime?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I know one. That was the one where we sat outside and Ryan Denny.
In the last 10 games?
In the last 10 games.
Wasn't that one where they beat us at Ryan Denny overtime?
Yeah, that was the game of the century, 2011.
Oh my God.
Yep.
I want to say, I don't know, I'm guessing maybe it's happened again twice.
You have a guess?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's happened 3 times.
You're the closest. 4. 4 of the last 10. Here's an interesting fact. Did y'all know? The games that LSU and Alabama have played,
Really?
when
Wow.
they've played at home, they have a very poor winning. The home team has a very poor winning streak. Only 39% of the games
Really?
that they've played, the home team has won. Isn't that crazy?
That seems odd.
Yeah, it does seem odd. But
Wow.
there you go.
You spike each other out.
Exactly.
Can't
right.
handle the pressure.
Exactly, Jackknife, you got one. All right, so we have 2 more. How many times have these 2 teams met, and who has the highest win numbers?
Alabama's got the highest win
Are you
numbers.
sure of that? Or you just
Absolutely,
saying?
I know that. I know that.
No,
Like
he's right. Eric is right.
1896?
Eric is
Yeah,
right
no,
on
no
this. Alabama has more wins because they cheat. And so, so I'll give them that.
I have no idea the record, but I do know.
We've had 2 really good coaches.
So there's been 83 meetings. Alabama has won 53 times,
Wow.
and you have tied
It's a
5.
good rivalry. I'll say it is a
Yeah,
great
it is a
rivalry.
good rivalry.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think for LSU, y'all are the main rivals, but I think Alabama's main rival is still considered Auburn.
Are we considered LSU's main rival?
Definitely. Yeah. It's mostly just anger.
Leftover anger probably from
I grew up
Saban.
there, and
Yeah.
my dad graduated from Alabama, so I've been an Alabama fan my whole life. And during LSU games, like our lockers would get like the LSU fans. You come to school. I mean, it got pretty.
Oh,
These
yeah.
are high school kids, yeah. And
Yeah.
like it was.
Yeah,
It
pretty
was
heated.
tough living in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And Mary says, yay, Denham
No,
Springs shout out as well.
Mary
One of our
Mary
friends.
pulls a dear high school friend of mine from Denham Springs. So
All right, so Alabama has the most wins, but last question, who has the best tailgating?
oh my God, that's easy. Roar. LSU.
That's right.
Ooh, I don't know, dude. LSU has got to have good, better food.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
This last one.
I'm giving it that. But I prefer. It doesn't matter. It's all about food.
Well, I'm going to say Alabama.
Of course you are.
According to several of the surveys I looked at, Alabama was on the list as good tailgating, but far down the list, LSU was always number 1 of all the schools.
Yeah,
LSU.
I would agree. I would have to.
you-
I would think that.
Hey, you got to be number 1 at something.
Hey, wait a minute. I did not put in there the question of who is currently the national champion.
Yeah.
You should have.
Yeah. And hashtag COVID, they may be for a second
Y'all were
year.
really awesome last year. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all deserve that
And
one.
we are all SEC people.
That's
okay?
true. That's true.
right.
That's true.
And then the one question I forgot to put in there was going to ask y'all, what are the names of your mascots? So we said earlier, what's the tiger?
Mike the Tiger.
And what's the elephant?
Big Al.
Big Al.
Big Al. Oh my God, Big Al.
I told Barry.
That's the name of our rig.
I told Barry yesterday you're going to be very upset with this question because that's the name of our rig.
Yeah.
Oh,
That,
this is
well,
great.
as of yesterday, it was the name of our rig. We shall have a new name soon.
I'm afraid she's
Hey,
going to have to
I'll
get
get you
rechristened.
I'll get you a nice Big Al sticker for your RV. How about that?
Nah.
Absolutely. Yeah, right? So, yeah, I saw that yesterday and went, oh, I guess my name is about to change. Yeah. All right, let's see.
Oh, we have a ton of questions coming in. So I guess we need to get back to business.
Mostly it's all people having fun.
Yeah.
Brian Ott wants to know, is there such thing as Alabama cuisine?
Alabama cuisine?
You were talking about Louisiana cuisine, so he wanted to know, is there Alabama cuisine? Here's one.
I mean, for
A good old possum.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Squirrel in the crock pot.
Hey, down in South Alabama, it's all about the seafood.
Yeah.
Crawfish.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're the
but
whole-
they're crawfish too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah, I guess
we,
I don't know that we're known for a cuisine.
I think
No.
we have white barbecue sauce as an Alabama thing.
white.
Alabama
I don't know.
barbecue sauce. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, we do have a couple of
yeah.
questions.
Okay, we do have a couple of real questions.
We have,
Okay.
and this is a little bit outside of your typical SKUs. On, she wanted to know: do you recommend any certain brand of swing-away bike rack for e-bikes? Have you ever looked into that? Swing-away bike rack.
If it's what I'm thinking.
For an
So, yes, I do. So Thule makes THULE makes a bike rack that is designed for e-bikes. Because I believe that was part of the question.
Yes, yes.
They weigh a lot more.
Yep.
Yeah, and it can handle up to like 200 pounds. Like you don't want to put e-bikes on a regular bike rack. You're
Yeah.
just not going to be able to handle it.
Really heavy.
I don't know the model number, but
It did.
it actually has like a little foot lever on it that'll allow it to swing up where you can still open the back of whatever, like an SUV or a truck or whatever you've got it on, just like a trunk. But I suspect that if you just did a search for Thule, THULE bike rack, that this one would come up, and it is really solid and heavy duty, and it would
It's got
be,
some cool locks that keeps it secure. That was a really good.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, and the Macy's over at On the Road Naturally, they travel with e-bikes, so maybe if
Larry
they
can
have a,
put on what he does.
they could, yeah,
what
they
he
could chat.
uses. Yeah. And then somebody asked why Berkey versus the blue filters that the RVers have connected to the hose. And then another person asked about, have you ever done a comparison of the Berkey and Zero Water?
The main thing is, and I'm not a water scientist, however, the micron levels and just what it can filter out, like the ones that generally hang outside on the water hose or the spigot or whatever, the microns are larger, just meaning the openings that they're filtering things through. If they get too small, it impedes the flow. So it's really there to catch larger particulates and stuff, not down to like antibiotics or Giardia and all those types of things that can get in your water. So the Berkey just has like 99.999% filters everything out. But it does take longer to do that. Anytime you get to a smaller micron rating or a better filtration system, it does take a little bit longer. That's why they wouldn't use that one Savior hose. So the biggest thing is we have a water filter it's built in for our coming water, like showers and stuff. We use the Berkey for drinking water, anything we're going to consume, because it has a much higher level of filtration.
The Berkey is the same system that the Red Cross uses to like go into third world countries. They take the Berkey systems in, like people who don't have good drinking water, they'll take these systems in. but they're gravity water systems, so you don't need water pressure. You just pour the water up top. It filters down to the bottom. So
cool thing about the Berkey tube, and this might apply to the second question. I'm not super familiar with zero water, but the thing that we love, we bought ours in 2014 when we got our RV. Each black Berkey unit, and we have the small travel, which has 2 filters in it. Each one filters 3,000 gallons, so 6,000 total. And you can get 6, we're just to where we probably will change ours in the next 6 months or so, but it's an enormous lifespan for just the 2 filters are about $100 to replace. So you're not having to do, I think a lot of the other water filters have like 3 months, change a year and this and that. This is something, you do have to clean them every once in a while, depending on how dirty your water is, but the lifespan for $100 filters,
it's like 6-7 years.
It's ridiculous how long you get.
A lot of systems you have to replace filters sometimes monthly, bi-monthly, something like that. Yeah. So it's really just from a cost standpoint. I think we've calculated it's like 2 cents a gallon over the life of it or something.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We've not done any tests in comparing the water quality, but there's a lot of that available online. But main thing is the infrequency of having to change it and the high level of filtration. And that it's portable, so if you have it in your RV, like when we did get a beach house once just for vacation with our family, and we just take it out and bring it to the beach house with us. So it's portable, so you're not having to have it hooked in line, so it's something you can use anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Any other questions out there?
I don't think any. Somebody asked about the Hollywood bike rack, if you know anything about that.
I don't.
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay. I think that's it, other than just people making fun of Alabama. Or saying go
I
Tide.
didn't get any roll tides.
No, you did get some roll tides.
I
You
did get some roll tides.
I asked a lot of my friends to get on the show tonight.
I didn't get any go Tigers. I got a lot of roll tides.
Oh,
so there you go.
ouch,
Yeah. Ouch. Come on, Mary. Come on. So yes. Well, you guys, we love talking to you, and we'd love to talk to you for another hour, but I guess we better go. But we are going to have you back because we want to do a show in the future about bucket list destinations, and y'all have gone to some place I really want to go, and that is Alaska. And so we're going to have you back on to talk about your trip to Alaska and what that was like. So stay tuned. Yeah, there's a lovely picture of the two of you.
Putting a picture up there of you two at the Alaska border.
State
That's
border.
cool.
Yeah, so I can't wait. We'll do that. We'll get with you and plan that, and then we'll just plan on getting together sometime. Hopefully we'll see you on the road. A lot of people might see you in Hershey, maybe.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll run across you at some point. Right now we're kind of on the opposite sides, but we won't always be. Yeah, that's the great thing about this lifestyle, right? We can make sure that we run into each other.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
This was fun. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Been our pleasure.
And again, thank you for the giveaway. And we will put the information on the show notes. Plus, we'll put it in the newsletter coming up this Sunday. We'll put it out there on Facebook and on the website. So absolutely, people will get to see it, and we're excited and appreciate so much you guys doing that for us.
Yeah, thanks.
So thanks.
You're welcome.
Great seeing
Y'all
you.
take care. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That was fun.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah, they are. They're nice. They were one of the first couples that we really met when we first started considering going full time.
RV Entrepreneur Conference?
At the RV in Fredericksburg, and yeah, so they were awesome to meet up with again the next year. So, and I think you and Eric kind of hit it off with this whole LSU Crimson Tide.
Yeah, I'm trying to convert him, and I think it's.
I don't think you're going to have very good luck.
I think it's happening.
No, now you have Tammy. You can work on her.
That's true.
You didn't know that
I know.
before.
I've got her in my corner, so to speak.
Exactly. Yeah, sort of. Okay, so it is 7:03.
7:03. All right, so we've got to
get some dryer
we got clothes that need to go in the dryer for crying out loud. Okay, so we've got two things. So we have a show scheduled for next week. We haven't got a final confirmation from our guest, so it's going to be a little bit of a surprise, but I think it's fun.
It's going to be a little bit about travel.
It's going to be, it's definitely about travel.
Okay.
And then we were thinking we're going to take a little bit of a break.
2 weeks after that.
Yeah, 2 weeks after that. Yeah, so we're coming up on a little bit of a
July.
summer break.
We're going to take a little break in July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But tonight we've got two things left. One is David Downs, who I was in the chat earlier.
Yep.
he and I have a side hustle where we do photography workshops, and we're putting together an e-course for beginning photographers. And these are people that really want to understand the basics of photography and how to take better pictures. And we know RVers love to take photos of the places they go to. So we're putting together this e-course, and we're starting to put together tips. And I've got one of those tips I pulled out of the course and got for you tonight.
Okay.
And then we're going to play you out with a slideshow of just a few of our favorite images from our recent visit to Colorado.
Awesome. All right. I like it.
Okay. So on to the tips. So when I get asked about better photography, there are consistent questions that get asked. And how do I do this? How do I do that? One of the things comes down that people don't ask, but that they should know about, is how to compose your photos better. And there's two elements of composition. There is the first one, which I listed second here, just because I like to do that, is called fill the frame. You want to look at everything that's in that frame, everything you're about to take a photo of, and you want to make sure it's relevant for that photograph. So fill the frame, make sure that you're getting close to the subject, and make sure that everything is relative to that photo. The second thing is rule of thirds. Now that's a compositional technique where you take the photograph and you break it into thirds. So I'm going to show you here that this is a photo that we took in, where was this? Trevi Fountain in Rome. So
When you get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, there aren't people around.
yeah, there aren't people there. But that's a good point, though. Even if this hadn't been at 4 a.m. in the morning because my clock was a little off.
From jet lag.
Yeah, from jet lag. Composing something really close like this is a great example of filling the frame. So getting close, making sure that the composition has everything, but then the rule of thirds is taking that image and breaking it up into thirds and making sure that something is interesting on at least one of those thirds, if not two of them. And here on this right third, I've got the statue running up through that vertical third. I've got the horse head through this point here, which I just refer to as a PowerPoint. So it just gives us a chance to have a more interesting composition as opposed to putting that dead center.
Got it. So, and that's just a grid you imagine on your camera lens.
Yes, and some cameras actually you can put that grid in the viewfinder as you're looking at it.
Great.
So this is a beach scene. So instead of putting that couple in the chairs right in the middle of the frame, I put them off to that far right. So they're intersecting that bottom right. But then notice this, I also have the horizon line across that top third, and where the beach meets the sea, the sand meets the sea here, I have that on that third.
That works very well.
Yeah, so just nice overall rule of thirds composition. Now, rule of thirds doesn't apply to everything. It's like any rule.
You can break it.
You can break them, but knowing the rules gives you a better sense of being able to make better composition photos. And then if you decide to break it, then break it. But at least you know where to start.
Yeah.
So that's our tip for the day.
Excellent. So, and also we do have some other tips on the website at thevirtualcampground.com. There's a blog there, better photos on the homepage right now.
Yeah.
That Barry, it's got my name on it, but Barry did it, all the information on it. So you can
I'm
go
her
there.
ghostwriter.
Yeah, you can go there and get more information. And in a couple of weeks we're going to have David and you talk a little bit more about photography tips. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
So all that. Thank you guys so much.
Yes.
Big show. Hope you enjoyed it with Eric and Tammy.
Yeah,
They're great
thank you.
fun, and
thanks for all the chatting. That was a lot of fun.
that was fun. We enjoy seeing everybody asking questions and ribbing us and ribbing the guests. That's always fun. So appreciate it. Good night, Grandmom.
Oh yeah. Good night, Mom.
Drew, Grandma says she loves you. So at any rate, we're going to just play everybody out now.
Yeah, we're going to play out.
We'll see you next week. Tune in. We'll let you know who's going to be the guest.
That's right. Yeah, it'll be a surprise announcement. So thank you so much for being here. Until we can see you live and in person, we'll see you in the virtual campground.
See you around the campfire.
Have a good night.